Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports and 3Chi, and a quick hitter edition of My Mom's Basement on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We've got a first trailer, the first trailer that was like available for the public to see, that wasn't just a Comic Con behind closed doors one, and it looks pretty fucking awesome. I gotta say, I was very much skeptical on this. For years, I said, don't do any more Indiana Jones movies with Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford, but I think make Indiana Jones the American James Bond. You recast him and you tell us stories of prime Indiana Jones. I thought it was a character built for that. But you put James Mangold in charge, the guy who made Logan, the guy who gave him such a good send off, the guy who's really never made a bad movie in his life, and you give us this story and you give us this trailer, you do some de aging. I'm in.
I think we've said in the basement a few times, like, what the fuck are we doing right now? Because we all saw the last Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones was pretty much the trilogy. Everyone was happy with the trilogy, right? And even like the last one, everyone was happy. Was it the Last Crusade? Was the last one?
Yep.
But then 4 came, wiped that off. But Ken, like you said, Ken Jack did list out his movies: Logan, Walk the Line, Ford vs Ferrari, 310 to Yuma, Copland. I'm like, oh, so this James Mangold guy is fucking awesome. So I feel a lot better about that. The de-aging was very cool. It's a way to keep Harrison Ford in it. And like I said, we don't have to go into the future or the present. We can just go into the past and all this shit that Young Indy did. Yeah, let's fucking rock it. They have like such a cheat code that a few movies have, usually with John Williams involved. You just play that music and we're going to get fucking hyped. We're going to get the goosebumps. We're going to get the butterflies in the stomach, those old nostalgic feelings. And they fucking played it. They fucking cracked the whip a few times. And I'm like, all right, how much are movies these days? $20? Let's rock and roll. You have my credit card. I'm ready to rock. The de-aging shit was cool. However, there is one problem with it. And I tweeted it out and I truly mean it. They're going to see the young Harrison Ford and say, hey, listen, how do we capitalize on all this, momentum we've gotten from Andor? How about we make a Han Solo movie between episodes 4 and 5, between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, because obviously he's just a fucking slab of carbonite between 5 and 6. And let's just see, the people are going to want that. They love Harrison Ford. Look at his Indiana Jones reviews. Don't do that, Star Wars. You guys are doing everything right with Andor. Do not go back to your old shit and bring up old Han Solo shit, because it already came out with a movie that me and Robbie did not, or at least I know I didn't care for. I think it was actually one of the worst reviews for you.
For it either. Yeah.
Robbie didn't cry during it. That's how you know he didn't love it.
And you know what? It's Star Wars, so I could rewatch it and I can enjoy it, but I'll enjoy it less than I'll enjoy any of the other Star Wars movies. It would be dead last in my rankings.
I'll watch it, but I won't smile. Like that's yeah. That too.
And when they get to the scene where they name him Solo, I'll throw up a little bit. Let's talk about some good things from this trailer, though. We have Sala narrating the start, who is an old friend from Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course, and he's talking about missing adventure, some awesome visuals. We see like fish swimming through a skeleton.
I didn't think that guy was alive, by the way. I was shocked.
Oh no, I know, yeah.
And it's
same
not even
actor too.
Yeah, it's not even like an age thing. I was like, I could have sworn I read this guy's obituary 7 different times on the internet. It's like, oh, that guy died. That sucks.
He's alive, though. We get shots of prime Indy. We get shots of old Indy. When they first take the bag off Indy's head, you could see Harrison Ford's face, like the old prime Indy, not old, but old Indiana Jones. That's awesome. And he suggests there's a new adventure that awaits. We see tons of de-aged Indy. Looks incredible. Indy at one point says, I don't believe in magic, but I've seen some things I can't explain. Ken Jack pointed it out in his blog. That's a dumb line. That's like reminds me of The Force Awakens, like, it's true, all of it. Like, it was cool to see him say that. He's seen the Holy Grail. He's seen fucking Kalima fucking take the heart out of a chest. He's seen aliens. Why doesn't he believe in magic?
It's like Han Solo saying, I don't believe in the Force. It's like, dude, you've seen the Force be used in person. And I'm talking old Han Solo, where his kid has the fucking Force. I'm not even talking about like episode 4 Han Solo. What are we doing right? That was weird.
A weird line.
That was like a great, like, everyone was together. It was a nice meal, and just someone farted, and it fucking kind of just hung in the room. And you're like, it was good, but like, that was a big but in the whole thing, in my opinion.
Big butt. We see Indy riding a horse through subway tracks. He's riding a horse in a parade. Some footage of him running on top of a train, flying planes, which we know is very dangerous when Harrison Ford is in them.
That sick fuck asked if he could do it himself too. Like, no, Harrison, we're gonna use your stunt double for this one.
No, Harrison, you're not allowed in the plane. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is playing Indy's goddaughter, and Indy's son Mutt, Shia LaBeouf, will not be making an appearance. I believe he's big canceled. So we're just gonna give him kind of the Creed treatment, where it's like, hey, the thing with Rocky's son didn't work out, so let's do Rocky's nephew, Apollo Creed's son, and say the relationship with the son isn't very good.
Yep. And I think that let's just, yeah, I have no problem doing that. You make a good movie, you can tell me whoever the fuck did it, right? So I'm
Yeah.
100% in for that.
And then the trailer ends with a great scene where a bunch of people pull their guns on Indiana Jones after he cracks his whip and does some theatrics, very much mirroring the scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, like poetry. It rhymes, where he obviously takes the gun out and shoots the swordsman. A great flip on that scene, and just something that nails the tone of Indiana Jones, where he is your typical 80s action star who isn't a macho, I'm going to kill everyone and beat everyone up. He's constantly getting caught in situations where he's pulling his pants up like, oh my God, fuck, I got
Yep.
caught. Like, that's Indiana Jones, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
It's the John McClane thing, too,
I
really.
was gonna say it mirrors John McClane, same kind of thing. And the fact that he just like he doesn't like jump out the window, he just ducks down as they all
Yeah.
shoot at him. So that's why he doesn't get shot. So I appreciated that as well. And yeah, like the symmetry with the knife stuff where the guy just gets blasted. So again, they know that the people who are going to see this movie are more than likely people who are going to appreciate that fucking callback to the old days, because everyone wanted 4 to be good, so maybe 5 will be good. And the de-aging shit that kind of takes care of a bunch of stuff. And I think we've talked about on the podcast about love to see some young indie going crazy. The horse with like the confetti coming down. You could, again, I've said this in a lot of the I think we said in Eternals when they're in like the ancient ruins and stuff, or ancient civilizations. Same with the Mayans in Wakanda Forever. I love kind of like old, feeling like you're there for old history. And listen, there's been a lot of like crazy talk on the internet these days. Let's kick some fucking Nazis' asses. Let's punch them in their big, stupid fucking faces. And that's what Indy does. He beats the shit out of Nazis. I'm an Indy guy. That's the other thing. This is a different podcast. But like we said, we're against the high evolutionary and we are against the Nazis. We are pro Indy. This podcast, first on the fucking books.
At the very least, this trailer put me in enough of an Indiana Jones mood to want to rewatch the Indiana Jones movies.
Yes.
And on some level, that's the trailer doing its job, I think.
Yeah. And they're is that on Disney Plus? Is that where they live?
I think so. Yeah, because it's Lucasfilm. So yeah, like I watched this and I was like, I want to watch the indie movies now.
Because as soon as we finished it, because as I said in our previous Guardians, we had like a family sit down. We watched the Guardians trailer, and then the Indiana Jones, I think, just like automatically looped in next. And I was like, shit, when do I start showing this to my kids? Because I feel like they're starting, my Sienna's 3rd grade now. Like, I think by 3rd grade, a lot of people had seen Indiana Jones. I am on the record. I somehow just missed it. And I like had to sit down one day and watch the Indiana Jones. Like I got it from fucking Netflix, the DVDs. I got them like delivered to my house. It was a whole thing. So, and that was in my 20s, maybe even early 30s. So I am late to the game on the Indiana Jones, but I still, again, that music, the fucking whip, the little thing, the hat, you see there's going to be some motherfucking snakes at the biggest part of the goddamn movie. Little spoiler for everyone.
Of course, yeah.
And that's just the kind of stuff that you come back for. It's the reason we kept coming back to Star Wars, just for all those kind of hits there. But I think this is going to be good. Again, those fucking ratings of all this guy's movies, Mangold. What are you saying here? What would be your Rotten Tomatoes audience score? Because fuck the critics. What's your over-under after seeing the trailer?
I'm going to go very optimistic with an 82. And I say that's optimistic because let's keep in mind this is a Lucasfilm property with, 40 years of fanfare involved. People are going to be angry if this isn't really, really good.
That's a fair point. It's going to get, let's all reviews after the movie's actually fucking released, unlike those weirdos who review bomb before it even comes out.
I know. I hate those. Yeah.
Shit, I was going to say 85, but you kind of had me thinking like, I think that's a little too optimistic.
So I feel like if it's an 80 or above, it's like a whopping success. Like, oh my God, you knocked that out of the park.
Everything's on a curve when you have these, like, again, those feelings that you get hearing the song. That also comes with like, if you don't nail it, they're just like, fuck this shit. It's the worst thing ever. Or they just completely blow it like they did in the 4th movie.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm also
do it. Don't do it.
I am. Came out when I was like 10, which is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you take away him surviving a nuke by hopping in a fridge, and you take away a little bit of the alien stuff, and it's a much better movie. Like a large portions of that movie are fine, and then I do like stupid shit, kind of like the Solo naming thing, and you're like, oh fuck, and then you can't get that out of your mind. But There's some good portions of
You
that
just,
movie.
well, then you don't have an ending or real an explanation for anything.
Yeah.
And there is like something that needs to be, I guess, like just fucking throw the endings from one of the other 3 movies there. So wait, didn't this happen? Yeah. It's like the
Throw it
guy's
in there.
face melted off again. It was crazy, man. I don't know how he came back to life and how the Ark of the Covenant was here, but it happened.
That was
I want to go
our
back to that museum too. I want to go back to
Oh,
the
that
museum with the
with the
boxes
big
and everything. Yeah, I
boxes
love that
everywhere.
shit.
Yeah, they open the fourth one there, and that's also like probably the best sequence in that movie.
Oh, that's
Is
right.
like
I
actually
forgot
getting
about
to see
that.
that whole place and the alien stuff in there. But that's our Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny trailer recap review breakdown. Again, whatever you want to call it.
Didn't
We
love the
will
name
be
either.
back.
I
Dial of
forgot to
Destiny,
say
you
that.
didn't like that? I thought it
Didn't
was pretty
like
good.
it, but I think it might make more sense. It just seems a little.
Yeah, we didn't learn anything about what that is. Dial of Destiny, time
I'm
travel.
let's all right. So let's just before we wrap up here, we have Indiana Jones,
Raiders of
Raiders
the
of
Lost
the
Ark,
Lost Ark, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
Temple of Doom,
Indiana
great one.
Jones and the Last Crusade,
Yep.
Indiana Jones
Kingdom of the
and
Crystal Skull.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I don't think it hits with those, man. Raiders of the Lost Ark
Oh, I
is a
think it
fucking
hits.
incredible name. Temple of Doom, Bob. Temple of Doom. Last Crusade. It's fucking one all for one for all. We got Pops coming in the mix. We
Yeah.
find out the dog was Indiana. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's like, all right, we're new age. We're getting there.
It's a good name. I think it's tainted for you because of the movie.
Yeah, it's also a 20-year difference between the movies. So between the last one, Last Crusade, and that, and then Dial of Destiny, it just feels. I'm telling you, Bob, that concerns me more than basically anything else. Is the name.
The name doesn't concern me. I think we're on a good track. I think in James Mangold I trust, and that is our Dial of Destiny trailer breakdown. So we'll be back with more quick hitters, more full podcasts on all this stuff. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of the name and leave your fun Indiana Jones titles. Like, come up with a Indiana Jones movie title for us and leave it in the comments below.